A number of fighter jets from the Chinese Air Force are approaching Taiwan's airspace for the fifth time in the last 10 days. This made the Taiwan military deploy a jet fighter to block the Chinese plane. This incident is heating up a tense and sensitive situation over the Taiwan Strait. Chinese Air Force deployed a number of domestic-made fighter jets, J-10 and J-11 to southwest Taiwan. The Taiwan Air Force said a number of Taiwanese fighter jets patrolling their regularly warned Chinese fighter jets via radio. This makes Chinese fighter jets leave Taiwan's air defense territory, said a statement from the Taiwan military. According to the Taiwanese military, Chinese fighter jets have carried out this maneuver since June 30, 2024 times. And are always being chased by Taiwan fighter jets, the Taiwan military statement said. China claims Taiwan as part of its sovereign territory. However, the president of Taiwan said his country was an independent and fully sovereign country. Taiwan is exploring a number of purchases of war weapons such as a new generation of F-16 fighter jets, and precision Harpoon missiles to target Chinese warships approaching its territory. The Chinese government issued a warning over the flight of U.S. transport aircraft, which passed through an unusual route. The Chinese military sent fighter jets to Taiwan's airspace, forcing Taipei to exert force from its air force to drive out Chinese fighter jets. This happened after the U.S. Navy sent a C-40A Clipper transport plane across the west coast of Taiwan this week. China responded by sending Russian-made Su-30 aircraft to Taiwan airspace. Chinese fighter jets send strong warnings and show the readiness and determination of the PLA to fight. Taiwan's defense minister said he had sent U.S.-made F-16 Viper fighter jets to drive out Chinese fighter jets. The C-40A Clipper is a military version of the Boeing 737 for commercial flights. This aircraft is on its way from a base in Okinawa to a base in Southeast Asia as it passes through the west coast of Taiwan. According to the Chinese military spokesman, Song Zhongping, told the Global Times PLA fighter jets to dispel provocative steps by U.S. military aircraft. Song also said the U.S. plane showed cooperation with Taiwan in military exercises. This means that the U.S. can provide assistance in battle to Taiwan and give Taiwan the courage to separate from fighting China. U.S. Air Force has increased the flight of the B-1B Lancer bomber over waters near China amid increasing disputes between the two forces on all fronts. The flight was carried out along with increased military operations by the Navy and U.S. Air Force in the South China Sea, East China Sea, Taiwan Strait, and Yellow Sea this year. Meanwhile, Chinese military observers have warned of an increased risk of military conflict between the two countries. In its latest announcement, the U.S. Pacific Air Force said that B-1 bombers were carrying out missions in the South China Sea, just days after training with the U.S. Navy near Hawaii. It shows the credibility of American air forces to overcome a diverse and uncertain security environment. The blame game has caused a rift in their already strained relationship. The U.S.-China dispute also influenced various aspects, including journalism, trade, technology and the military. The U.S. Air Force deployed 4 B-1B bombers and around 200 pilots from Texas to the Anderson Air Force Base in Guam. The U.S. Air Force said its mission was to support the Pacific Air Force and conduct training and operations with allies and partners. Beijing-based military specialist Li Jia said the spread showed the United States was trying to maintain strategic deterrence. The U.S. Air Force made 11 flights in March 2020 and 13 flights in April over the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea. Clearly, decision-makers at the Pentagon are trying to use bombers as a new tool in their strategic deterrence of China. We will see intensive B-1 disruptions in the Taiwan Strait and South China Sea airspace during May. He noted, just after the deployment to Guam, 2 B-1B bombers flew over the East China Sea and also flew over waters off the northeastern coast of Taiwan on May 6. The flight is said to be an indication to Taiwan that the U.S. has not given up on efforts to increase its military influence in the region. The United States Air Force sent 2 Lancer B-1B planes for a 32-hour flight back and forth over the South China Sea on April 29. The aircraft rotated the flight of B-1, B-2, and B-52 bombers, 3 strategic bombers in the U.S. Air Force fleet, among other military aircraft, to fly over contested waters near China. The Chinese Navy began 11 weeks of military training in waters off the northern port city of Tangshan in the Yellow Sea. The U.S. sent warships through the Taiwan Strait on the same day, marking the 6th voyage by the U.S. Navy this year.